what's going on? So what I'm seeing so far is we have Ace of Pentacles, we have Knight of Cups. I get this sense of you being very, very focused on something. So there can be something that, there can be like a new moment that's happening here. With the Knight of Cups, there can be like something that you're feeling that is motivating a move that you are making here. What's coming out after that is Nine of Wands. So you can feel like if you are going to make this move, or if you are going to continue to accomplish whatever this is, to be sort of on this mission here, that it's something that is not going to be an overnight process. I'm seeing Nine of Wands as being something where like it may really try you, it may really test you, like how badly do you want this? But then Three of Cups being on the other side of it, I do feel like this would be worth it to you. It's like if you get through the obstacle course, you'll be able to get the prize at the end, but you're going to have to be willing to go through the obstacle course in order to do that. Because I feel like this is going to take a lot of energy and a lot of effort, and it can be something where if you are not standing strong within that, it can be something that you don't make it to the other side, like you're not able to see that. I feel too like this is a process where you have to be very, very genuine. You have to be very, very honest. So maybe too, that's what this chapter is about. Maybe you're going to be like very candid, maybe in a way that you haven't been before. Maybe this is, I'm starting this chapter and what this is going to be about for me is that I'm being honest with myself, with the way that I feel, with those around me. I'm going to make moves that feel like they are aligned truly with what I'm feeling. I'm going to be deliberate. I'm going to be conscientious. I'm going to be present, regardless of the tasks that this may ask of me. And I know that this will allow things to come together. So having that Three of Cups on the other side feels like this actually would be well worth it, because there could be something very beautiful that comes together. It kind of feels like you and this other person or these other people, you all have to be your own version of the Knight of Cups here, and you have to do the things that would be aligned with the Knight of Cups. Like you have to really move with the way that you're feeling. You have to be honest about the way that you're feeling. This is about like living in a place of truth and making moves based off of that. This means like saying no when you want to say no, saying yes when you want to say yes, maybe doing something scary but your heart really wants you to do it, so you move in that direction. It's going to be living your life in this way, in alignment with your soul path, and really tuning into what that is so you can make sure that you're taking the right steps here that would be aligned with that. Having that Three of Cups feels like you're going to be doing this. There may be another person that's doing this. Maybe there's another person that's doing this. Maybe there's another person that's doing this. I feel like everybody here has to be on the mission, being their own Knight of Cups, and eventually everybody meets together. But there's a bunch of stuff that has to be done first. You have to like go up all of the levels in order to get to the top, which is where that is. And then when we all get there, everybody's going to talk about it. This feels like saying everything that needed to be done in order to get here. Like you see the cups, they can finally be put down, and now everybody's chatting with one another. So there can be a discussion about like, that's where I started, and then I had to do this, and then I had to do that, and then this thing popped up. It kind of just feels like telling the story, sharing the stories of the journey. I'm seeing the High Priestess coming out. Wow. Okay, we have High Priestess. We have Six of Wands. We also have the Hermit. I'm looking at the Empress on the bottom of the deck. I don't get the sense that this is an easy thing to do. This can feel like actually a pretty vulnerable moves and gestures to be making, decisions to be making. I'm seeing a lot of thought and feeling being put into this as well. If you really do make these moves while you are following your heart in kind, I'm seeing that this is something that is going to be well worth it to you. It's something that you're going to feel like really pays off. I get this sense as well that With the High Priestess connecting with the Three of Cups, I feel like there are going to be other people, other beings, other energies that you're going to be moving in the direction of. It's like everybody starts at a different starting point, but everyone is going to the same place, and we're all going to converge at that point that is the Three of Cups. So if this is the route that you're going to be following, and it feels like we all have our own, that's eventually like where everybody is going, to that point. And it feels like the only way that you can know where this is by following your heart, and that's what gives you the direction to get to this place. And so it feels very much like that's what this new chapter is, that's beginning. Having Nine of Wands above the Hermit, I'd say that you staying plugged in, you staying tuned in, you staying mindful may actually be the most challenging part of this. That means too, with Hermit, there's problem solving there. There's really reflecting, there's pondering that needs to be happening, and like not bypassing. That's also something as well. With Hermit, if something's going on, we are reflecting and we are addressing it and we're checking in about it to figure out what to do. So you have to be in that place with yourself in order for this to work. Because the High Priestess communicates with us in like sometimes mysterious ways, sometimes abstract ways. So you really have to decode it, which it feels like that's what Hermit's doing. But if you're willing to be in a place of integrity with yourself, this really is something that can happen. It can also feel challenging too. I feel too like the reason why Hermit in this position can feel challenging to do is because like not everybody lives their life like this. Like there are a lot of people that are walking around with their eyes closed, and so for you to make this choice to deliberately live like this or deliberately make moves like this, it's not something that you see all the time. Maybe you feel a little bit alone walking this path, walking this journey, but having that Three of Cups feels like at the end of the day, things are going to come together and you're not going to be feeling so alone. You're going to feel like you meet up with these other people that are living in this way, feels like consciously, and that is where the connection happens. But if you don't take these steps now, and if you don't sort of like walk on this line, you're not going to get there. And this can be something that you really want. Like I want deeper connection. Three of Cups is in a place where we actually get to experience the intimacy that we're looking to experience. We get to experience the love that we're looking to experience. We get to experience the connection that we want to experience. So that's why it's worth it to be doing this, even if it's asking you to be present and to be totally there, to be committed, to be all in. Something about unresolved pain that's part of this that must be worked through. I'm seeing that's also a reason why this would be challenging, meaning if you really are going to be doing this, if you really are going to embark upon this journey, that feels like there's an opening now for you to be doing this. If you really are willing to do it, feels like there's something painful that's going to have to be addressed. Maybe multiple things that are painful that have to be addressed. And it looks like it's surrounding interpersonal things. It can be current relationships, it can be past relationships, but I'm seeing this as part of it too. So there's some stuff that has to be unpacked. So going back to this thing that I was saying about like sometimes you don't really have people around you that are living in this way. It can be like not necessarily a common thing that you see. I guess depending on where you are. Like sometimes it can feel like people are living in this way, sometimes maybe not. May just depend on the place, where you are, sort of what you're seeing when you're looking around. I think that something that's being highlighted here within the energy is the Three of Swords can be stuff that it feels painful. We have to kind of go through a period of suffering or a period of pain in order to then be liberated from the Three of Swords. And that's why many of us can walk through life with our eyes closed, because it's just too painful to address. Well, we can be convinced that it is. And so if you're going to take this on, I feel like there's something kind of charged that you are going to have to work through, that is actually at the core of this, that is actually at the center of this. And everything like splits off from that point. I feel like this is something that has still not totally been resolved. And it may be something that you don't totally, fully, completely even understand at this point. This is going to help you overcome. This is going to help you integrate. That's part of what this chapter is about, and I feel like that's what makes this so difficult. Because there may be some stuff. I'm looking at Knight of Cups staring down the Three of Swords. This is knowing, if I'm going to be stepping this way, if I'm going to be involved in a path like this, I'm going to have to face down the Three of Swords. And the Three of Swords is that like deep pain. It can be trauma. It can be the stuff that we, for every reason, want to avoid. Well, our egos anyway. You can know too that this will, if you do not avoid it, that there's just like a place that you don't really get to, that you want to get to, something that you want to experience. And that can be why it's worth it. So I do feel like you're entering into a period where there's a lot of stuff that's going to be unpacked here. I do feel like this comes back to relationships. And I don't feel like it's just one. I feel like it has to do with things socially for you. And this is going to be, in you working on this, this is going to help you feel like more connected. This can connect you with like better friendships, with better relationships, with better community, even just like feeling seen, and again having that intimacy that you want to have, that you can feel like you're lacking at this point. So even though this can be something where you're like, oh, this chapter is going to feel painful, this is the chapter that is, it's simultaneously painful and also the thing that liberates you from that pain. So it's not just sitting there and you're ignoring it. So this is something that is going to be addressed, and it's going to be integrated, and then you are going to be free of this. It's not going to be that thing lingering and looming there anymore. And I feel like this is going to have a significant impact on your relationships for the better, for the much better. And that's what's going on here. That's what's going to be happening with this. And why it would be worth it too. I feel like you're not going to address it immediately. When I'm looking at the Ace of Pentacles, something is drawing my eye to the very center of it. So I feel like you're going to be like moving around a little bit within the cycle. And then there is going to be a point when you get to the core essence of this cycle. And that's where the thing is going to be that needs to be addressed. And I will say this, you're going to look at it and it can be something that you feel overwhelmed by. Can be something that feels very big. It can be something that feels you feel like repulsed by it, pushed away by it. It can be something that you're like, I think that's just too much for me to handle, or like I don't want to like indulge the pain in that way. At the same time, it's going to be the answer. It's going to be the key. Which feels almost like counterintuitive to the ego, but your higher self has pointed you in this direction for you to be focusing on this so you can be freed of this. It kind of feels like the bear trap has caught you in some way. And if you want to be freed from it, you're gonna have to like pull yourself out with the like jaws of life here, and that can feel uncomfortable, but then it's going to feel better. Or it's like when you get the bruise or the wound and you need to put the antiseptic in it so then it can be cleansed, and it hurts so badly, but then it's going to heal after. So that's what's going to happen, because it's like, it's something there, it's something that's present with the Three of Swords, and it's something that's impacting things that you may not want it to impact. It can really be impacting the quality of the social experience that you want to be having. And it's not only about other people. This is about your relationship with yourself, and you feeling like you're in communion with yourself and with your heart truly. So you feel like you come back here in a way that it may feel like too painful to totally be there and to be honest. So this is going to help you come back home in that way. And that's what this cycle is going to be about. I'm seeing the High Priestess, which is connected with the moon. So this can be like deep-seated things that are connected with your mind, connected with your heart, your psychology, your emotions, your feelings, your intuition, your spirituality, your like mental health, your emotional health. And then we have Hermit there, which is Virgo. This is the one of the signs that are connected with healing, with cleaning things out, with being able to recognize something, to diagnose it, to see what we need to do in order to heal it, and then to do those things. And that is how we heal, through that process. And when I see the moon and I see Virgo, I think of some type of like emotional cleansing and healing, and like spiritual cleansing and healing. It can be a mental cleansing and healing. It's like everything. High Priestess is connected with your whole internal world, the things that you feel, the things that you sense. And then Virgo's like the cleanup committee of that. So you can have a healthier lifestyle, so it can be a healthier you. So it can be like life can feel more robust, so you can feel more connected, and ultimately so you get to have that experience that you want to be having. It brings you that way. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.